All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Readers. Oh, I just covered this one a few days ago. Oh man, you gotta love it when we not only hit the expectation, but then we get a little extra on the fundamental side, right? We were looking at RR, we were looking for a hunt, we were trying to break the 8, go to the 20. It did that and then some, right? So I'll talk about what I'm expecting tomorrow. My favorite part, I don't know if my favorite part's the volume or up here, I'll be honest, but look, there is no 200 moving average. We are actually attempting to break them all and fly, right? So interesting setup on RR right here. LUNR. So we talked a lot about LUNR on the Discord, and I think there's two comments. Number one, what was the reason for this volume pop? I don't think we really had a good answer on the Discord. If anyone has a better answer or they know, please let us know. But yeah, I didn't find much. Clearly, this thing is still actually going in after hours too. That's really interesting. The one guess I had, and I'm stressing a guess, I have no idea. ASTS, this thing has been a monster. And maybe LUNR is kind of, I don't know, maybe kind of following that. I have no real idea, right? But crazy day. We'll talk about the expectations for tomorrow for sure. And then the last one is FUBO. Again, we were talking about this one on the Discord. I didn't see this on Friday. Clearly, it was a big candle on Friday. I actually saw a headline on ESPN about FUBO and their win in court. FUBO did win. So I'll go over the news, and obviously this is an interesting technical. At the minimum, you break these four, I'm gonna believe we're gonna go to the fifth one up here, and hey, lo and behold, that's where we're at, right? So all of these have some really nice technical moves on them, and all of them kind of have this little extra something that could make it interesting, right? And I'm never here hating on fundamentals, you know that, right? And in a lot of ways, if technicals look good and fundamentals look good, yay, that's a nice little combo right there, right? So before we do go any further though, and I give you more of my thoughts and opinions, what are we gonna do? Same thing we always do, right? We're gonna take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how these things are setting up short term. We have our 5 moving averages. I don't think there are any. Yeah, I'll draw a couple up here, but yeah, there are going to be some horizontal support and resistance lines that I do draw manually myself. And then when we are done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can, please subscribe to this channel. Share this video online with your friends. Comment good or bad if you disagree. Look, anything you can do helps so much with these YouTube algorithms. But for real, just being here and giving me your time, oh, I am so grateful for it, all right? So let's get into RR. And look, I don't know if you watched the last video or not, but we were hunting basically these 3 candles, all right? So RR had a crazy 73, almost 74% drop on a single day. All right, nothing screams lose them and die like this single candle. Nothing screams black hole vortex of all-time lows like this single candle. And really, nothing screams things happen for no reason in this stock market like this single candle. I mean, this right here was a Harvard degree on a single day in terms of like technicals. You know what I mean? So there was no bad news. There was really not a lot of reason for this stock to fall 74%. All right, but hey, one thing that it does is it tells me red might turn into green, all right? And one thing that tends to happen is you fall away from the 8 and then you come to the 8. Believe me, the go or drop can be pretty 50-50 at times, all right? And let's just zoom out real quick. We fell away from it, we came to it, we fell away from it, we came to it, right? Like we fell away from it, we came to it, we've been here before and actually fell away from it more times than not, right? But The expectation on the video was break this green little line right here, this 8 moving average, and hey, you break the 8, you're gonna go to the 20, and when you got red, 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 you got no resistances to stop you, right? So beautiful, beautiful technical move. Basically makes that dollar move that we were hunting. You gotta have a smile on your face, right? Today was a nice little extra, right? And two things are clearly jumping out at me. One's not on the screen and one is. We'll talk about the one that is, and it's the volume down here, all right? 106 million shares on a single day is big. All right, there are stocks that can't get 100 million shares in a full week. All right, and let's just look at RR really quickly on the weekly. All right, this week right here only traded 60 in 5 days of trading. It was only 68 million. On this one right here, it was only like, so the fact that today is so early in the week, right? We still have several days of trading left. We are already at the third largest week. We're probably gonna, oh, are we over this one already? No, we're just under it, right? No, we already broke it. Look, we are at 127 million shares as of the end of this day. This full weekly candle was 126 point something, right? So we're already looking at the second biggest week of trading in a look at all this. This week literally was insignificant. Come on, baby, did you freeze on me? Ah, it froze on me. The cool thing is I don't have to refresh anymore. Cool, and it actually survived. But like, look, in this full week, we were under a million shares, right? So you get the point, right? So there's a lot going on, and really the other thing is the news, right? So there was an article. Sorry, I'm trying to get my phone and see what it was, but basically, their robots are somewhere, and it was in like either 100 something or 200 something locations. If you have better details on the news, I'm struggling to like look for it, so I'm just gonna skip it. If you have better thoughts on the news, please let me know. I'm gonna get into the technicals, all right? And really, there's a couple things that are jumping out at me. The first one is I have to draw a line at this. So you're going to hear me say the phrase, the gap fill border. All right. Clearly, that is not an official, very technically term, right? But look, this is the border between down here and all the way up here. All right. This is the line that makes me believe we're going to start filling the gap. And it's essentially the last good candle from the drop, right? From there, though, I'm definitely seeing a couple other lines that I'm gonna need to draw. I think I want that right there. Yeah, that's not that bad. Basically, it's the bottom of that, top of that, bottom of that, top of that, kind of the top of that. I'll take that. I think the next okay. Nope, that's not what I'm gonna do. I'm actually gonna raise it to right here. Right here. I like that. So let me tell you why I raised it. Oh, look at that. That's where we wicked today. What was the high of the day? 166. My line's at 164. So let me tell you why I moved it to the middle of only this one. Okay? Maybe I could have moved it to the middle of this one, but nonetheless, we are in a pretty tight cluster of, look, I only have 5 of them. All right. When you have 3 moving averages this tight, and you can see it, they have been very, very tight for a while, actually. It's a little bit hard to escape the lines, all right? And you're going to see me and hear me say that often. I needed to raise this line just a little bit because I need us to close over this so that I can actually start to believe that we've escaped. Also, look, we broke 2 moving averages today, so my confirmation need is that much higher. You know what I mean? So I like this 164. I think we need to close over that tomorrow. All right. This 208 line, believe me when I say this looks like a very insignificant nothing of a line. I personally have found it where the gap fill border, that last little green candle you got to break before the red makes you smile, right? That's a surprisingly hard line to break, and just don't underestimate that 208 line. If we break 208, I am thinking $4.30, and that's an amazing gap fill, all right? Let's come to the weekly really quickly. There isn't even a line I can draw in the middle of that. I love it. I really, really do. This is nice. This is real nice, actually. 208's the money line. 164 is the confirmation. Look, if the news wasn't enough, we're going to probably fall back to 114. I think because look, we didn't. Okay, let me say this way. Today actually didn't break two moving averages. I was incorrect. It broke three. We were under the 20 as of Friday, and we gapped over it and then took these two. I can actually see us coming under that 50 moving average because again, there's nothing that actually tells me all three of these are broken. For some people the gap up is enough, and that's why I didn't come as low as here. But I think in the back of my head there is actually a very realistic shot that this drops as low as 98. But I think 114, 112-ish, let's call it 110. I think that should be the lowest it goes. We're looking for 164 to make us believe more. All right. That's not a bad MACD. It is in the negative. It's very close to the zero. And hey, I like that green over red. Same green over red on the RSI. I love when these two are saying the same thing. And that's a good divergence. Divergence just means two lines going away from each other. Makes me believe that the two lines want to keep going up. All right. This is all about volume tomorrow. The lowest this thing can go is like 80 million shares, all right? So if I need 80 million shares in a 7-hour day, we need about 12 million shares in the first hour, about 24, 25-ish in that second hour, right? That would be lovely. That would make me think good things. If we get lower than that, that's actually going to be pretty scary, actually, because again, yesterday we were at 20 million. We 5x'd it today. I don't want to drop right back down to that 20-ish range, right? So RR, yeah, I think that was a pretty good in-depth thing. Again, the news seems legit. It looks like their robots are in places. I think there are some assumptions that could be made that, hey, if the things go well, they'll get more placements and other things like that. And hey, let's be honest, robots are going to start taking a bunch of jobs at some point, right? So a little earlier than I think I expected, but yeah, let me know, please, if you have better details on the news. Otherwise, yeah, these are nice technicals. And oh man, when you're trying to break all of them on the daily, when you're trying to break all of them on the weekly, there's only two on the weekly, right? Over them all is a beautiful thing. So watch this for tomorrow. Oh, not the 1 hour, the daily. Watch this tomorrow. Let's see how it confirms. And oof, these are low enough that man, a 48 can has a long way to an 80 RSI. You know what I mean? Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinions, even if you disagree. LUNR has me a little confused, all right? And we talked about it a bunch on the Discord, all right? Talking about it, not really sure why. I know I mentioned it earlier. Whatever, I went too far, but I'm not too sure what happened here. And hey, let me know, but big normally I start up here, but I think it has to start with the volume. And again, it's I can't figure out what made us go from 4 million yesterday. All right, we were at 5 million last Friday. We were at 4 million ish again last Thursday, and all of a sudden we're up to almost 100 million shares today. Look, these are definitely nice strings of candles, but you always hear me say that these are two very hard lines to get over. Man, we gapped and ran, right? Like, I'm really not sure what it was. The best guess I had, and I'm telling you, it's a guess, is ASTS. ASTS has been on a tear. This thing is some sort of space stock. There's some sort of satellite thing. I think that's happening with this one. And hey, maybe LUNR has something to do with that satellite. Maybe people are thinking, this is the next one of the satellite LUNR things to go. I really don't know, but oh man, the biggest thing for tomorrow, and I'll give you some technical thoughts too, but for real, the biggest thing for tomorrow is the volume. Look, that's a fantastic MACD. That's a fantastic RSI. 73 is relatively high, but hey, it's not 80. There's still like room for a little bit more. It's over all five. Like all of this generally is good. This crazy 20x volume jump. And let's just zoom out really quickly, all right? Look at this history. Today is only Tuesday, and it's already the third biggest week of trading, right? This is the biggest week. This is the second biggest week. This isn't even a full week, and it's already bigger than that week, right? So there's some crazy, crazy volume. It was significantly driven by today. And if we drop down to like 14 million shares, oh, that's going to be devastating. All right. Now, look, I see it going up post market. It's not going up much. All right. But what we're doing right now, this is the line right here, right? Like, this is red, 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 green, 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 red, 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 green, 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 red, 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 green, 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 red, red. Like, it's actually a pretty decent path up to $6.70. And again, that's a positive MACD. That's not even that crazy high in RSI. This can continue there if the volume holds. All right. Maybe it can still do it with like 48 million, because that's at least a little bit bigger than this February pump of volume, right? And hey, if we're going to get 50 million shares in a 7-hour day, the bare minimum, and I mean, this is actually probably a little bit lower than the bare minimum because I don't want to be a lot closer to today's 90, right? But if this thing isn't close to 7 million shares in the first hour, or 14, 15-ish in the second hour, that's where I start getting scared. All right, volume is king, volume is queen for my ladies out there. All right, and if it holds, these are my thoughts up. There's nothing but red, 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 and green, green, green from here, right? But if volume fails, I think we come down here. I think this can fall as low as 440. And that's a pretty nasty drop. That's about a 20% drop from where it is, all right? So, yeah, I like it. I'm telling you, I can't really justify today's volume. Please let me know if I missed something, right? I'm just a regular human guy. I obviously could have missed something, but um, I'm a little worried about pump and dump. If it doesn't dump, oh, there's still more room for this thing to pump. I think those are my best educated thoughts there. If there's better news that comes in the comments, obviously I'll maybe update my thoughts on the next video or in the comments. But hey, please let me know if you know a little bit more. Hey, let me know if you disagree with any of this too. You know that, right? Otherwise, I appreciate you so, so much. Let's end it off with FUBO. So FUBO was a pretty big discussion in the Discord, and actually we did see FUBO relative. And look at this, we actually had some lines given up: 185, 220. Mine's not quite the same. Do I have a 220 line? 225, not too shabby. But see, again, not here to say I know them. If you have different thoughts, different lines, throw them out there, right? But this one was a big discussion, and I agree. This one was big news. And again, I saw the news over the weekend on ESPN.com. I actually completely missed this Friday candle, even though we were talking about it on the Discord. But really quickly, if you can please subscribe, if you can please share this video. So what was the news? The news was essentially there was going to be a competing TV channel to FUBO. So FUBO is already competing against ESPN, right? But there was going to be this like monster partnership with ESPN and Fox, because again, they're both owned by Disney, who also owns ABC, right? And they were essentially going to make a Hulu of sports. That's at least how I understood it in my simple head, right? And FUBO basically said, no, that's a monopoly. And that's going to hurt the consumers more than it's going to help. And hey, I agree. I really believe if there was one juggernaut app or one juggernaut like subscription for sports, oh man, I would be so angry, but I would probably pay like, and I'm the cheapest person I know. I would probably pay like $50 a month for that. And I am so glad FUBO won just as a consumer of sports, all right? And you know what? I think the charts and the stock market really appreciated the win. Because one thing I'm looking at is a wild dump of volume. All right, we lost 70% of the volume. We went from 100 million all the way down to 30. That's some simple math right there, right? We lost 70% of the volume, but made a beautiful 8% strong candle that got us really close to retesting the 200. That is an interesting anomaly, and I think I'm going to put some strength to that. You know my rule, right? Volume is king, volume is queen for my ladies out there. And if you're going to have bad volume and a good candle, oh, you're going to make me do a little double take. I am loving that MACD divergence. This is saying green wants to just go, go, go while this red one stays down, down, down. RSI, look, it's not as strong, but hey, green is over red and 70 is low enough. And hey, it was just at 70 something, it was just at 77. Like, it doesn't have the highest of RSIs, but again, maybe the news is worth it. And I started zooming out. That's the last thing I want to show. Look, we've had some battles with the 200 moving average, but we actually haven't done it in the last year. Let me just zoom in real quick, right? Like there were some moments in most of 23, and then at the beginning of this year, we've basically been on a downtrend and eventually lost it, right? So interesting to see where it's at. And again, just this is some nice, a win against Disney, ESPN specifically, right? But hey, man, there's not a lot of companies that can do it, and I think that's a solid first step for FUBO. Obviously, there's going to be countersuits and this and that, but yeah, I think this was an important first win, and really, I think this is the perfect view. I'll even draw one more line, but if we can get over the 200 moving average, and really, I think I'd put my money line at 202. Maybe a little bit higher, 202, 203. We break 202, 203. I think there's another 10% run up to 220. If we break that 225 line, man, look at this thing, right? Red, 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 green, 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 red, 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 green, green. Like there's not a lot of horizontals to draw. In fact, what I'm going to do is raise the line till there, and then the next one comes here. These are the lines up. If it breaks 202, I'll be honest with you, I'm going to go ahead and set a little alert. An alert is not an immediate buy notification, but hey, let me know if 203 hits. I'd come check out the charts. Let's look at the weekly before I ask you, but oof, this is an interesting weekly. Interesting weekly. There are two big moving averages right here. Maybe I should have set the alert a little higher, but yeah, if this gets over 215, that could be really difficult to stop. And hey, these are some nice indicators on the weekly, right? MACD's picking up. It's still, a 72 is pretty healthy, and look at that volume over the last couple weeks too. So FUBO is looking nice. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinions, even if you disagree. Oh, I appreciate you so, so much.